All right. This is Rita Cadenhead with Renew Refresh Such a Life, and today we are talking about the book, okay?
All
And the
right.
book is You Already Have It, Developing Your Inner Brilliance by Curtis K. Richardson. All right, Curtis K. Richardson. He always put that K in there. So let me tell you a little bit about Curtis. Curtis has been a business owner and a leader in the community for over 20 years. He's the CEO and founder of one of the prominent electrical firms in Birmingham, Alabama, C&J Electrical, and several other companies. Curtis works comprehensively in the business culture as president of the Birmingham Metro Black Chamber of Commerce and appointed representative of the Alabama Small Business Commission and serves on other community boards. Also mentioned in a couple of publications, Birmingham Times, AL.com. He's a native of Birmingham, Alabama, attended Lawson State Community College, majoring in electrical engineering. Curtis takes pride in himself as a man of faith and family, and as a devoted husband of Jackie and a proud father of Jasmine, Janice, and Sierra. He knows he's nothing without God's favor. That's the truth. That's the truth. Look, so glad to be talking to you, Curtis. Glad
Hey,
to be
hey,
talking to
hey
you.
here.
Look, I'm glad to know that this book exists. And I found out about it when you were at the expo at the library, and I
Hmm.
you were a co-author on the book that I said yes, along
Yes.
with Kenny Marie, Joe Lockett. And so I'm walking past your table and I see this book and I'm like, what's this? How come I don't know about this book? What? What? You got a book? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's been a little while since I'm getting around to talk to you about it. But I started reading the book, and every now and then you run across a book that you just don't want to put down.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is one for me. This is one of those books. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's one of those books, and I had to schedule time to read it. Because I do some other things, so I couldn't sit down and do it in one read. But I hated to put it down. So look, you already have it, developing your inner brilliance. And so the
Mhm.
the title says a lot. Okay. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, yeah, we do. Well, why don't we know this?
Yeah. Well, in short, we're in a culture that really take that gift from us. And what I mean by that is we bombarded with a lot of stuff, whether it's on TV, in the media, radio, so much stuff. So when we actually try to go get something, seek something, or whatnot, we kind of treat it like it's a byproduct or treat it like it's something that we just don't have, which in reality, we have it. We just don't know it because of the culture that we in.
Right. We
We
don't we
just
don't
keep,
we don't know it. Is that to say we don't that brilliance, we don't know it, or we don't know what it is?
we don't know mostly what it is, and for the most part, once we find out what it is, we don't even know we have it. So
Mhm.
we think it's something we got to go learn. We got to go get a degree on it. We got to go get somebody. In reality, even if you go and somebody teach you that, in this case, I'm putting it in a book and you reading it. I'm just simply here reminding you, because technically you already know. I'm just here to remind you that you already have it. And because if you think about it, even from birth, whether a baby know it or not, and I always use something as simply as a baby, but the baby truly understand it has it, even though we think it doesn't. But everything about a newborn is fearless. It wants what it wants. Everything about it's not conditioned yet by media or whatever standards we put out here in the world that we're subjected to. So you already have it, and that's natural.
That's a good example about that baby, because in reality, the baby's in control. Okay, when he
Yes.
wants something, what the baby got to do?
I mean,
He
I'm
just
talking
gotta
about
cry.
it
You want
cries
something to
and
eat? He cry.
it
You
has
got to
no,
change his diaper? What you do?
yeah, that's
He
it.
cry.
Because
Yeah.
keep in mind, the baby, I'm a man of faith. So if God knew you before you was in the womb, which means there was a connection, there was something going on before that conception. So that baby, we are used to certain things a certain way when we want it. So that newborn just showing you that when it get here in this physical world, you understand? So, but just so if you notice how a baby changes, the based off the environment, from the ages of 2 to 6, you really start seeing that joy, depending on the environment, the joy starts to deteriorate around 3, 4, 5, and 6. Around what we call the terrible twos, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you kind of start seeing that whatever that environment is, they kind of become subjected to. But before that, every baby is joyous. They cry when they want something. They communicate. If they fall, they get up. Everything about them is what we should be doing. That's why Jesus say, if anyone you come to me like one of these kids, basically,
Right.
at least the children. He always talked about kids. We think in immaturity, technically they are more mature than the adults. We just more sleep than them.
Oh wow, that's you know what? The other thing I like, you know why this is also a good book to me?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that you read a book and you think you're listening to an audio book, because I can hear your voice when I'm reading it.
Are you saying I talk too much?
No, I'm saying, like the videos you put, like when you're in your car driving, you on Facebook, and you talking and so when I see those, so when I hear this book, I'm like, yeah, this Curtis saying this, let me tell you something right here. That, put into it. You don't put something into it, you ain't gonna get nothing out of it. That's just how it is, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So look at straight talk, because that's how you talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight talk. So let's get into the book right here, and even before I get into the chapters, something struck me in the introduction. You're talking about, it says it was the love and prayer of your mom that got you through a period where the average man that looked like you wasn't expected to live past 25 years. So more so, my generation was branded Gen X, and when I saw that, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is that like, the world had X'd us out or X'd you out? They were crossing you out as ever gonna,
Yes. I mean, again, this world, it does a lot of stuff, say a lot of things, and we kind of believe it. We take it as law, the letter of the law, and we run with it. So when I was a youth at that time, that's what we was branded. So because of everything that was going on at the time in the late 80s, mid 80s, early 90s, it was like crazy during that time. But so of course, I don't know who came out with the generation terms of the baby boomers, the all these different terms. So whoever that person was gave us this particular title. Unfortunately, if we don't know who we are, we run with these labels that people put on us. So I say during that time, my mom, she really, coming up in a single family household, I was still able to see her strength and being able to pull some things from her and apply it to my everyday life, even though there was no father figure there, but, I still was able to get that thing what I needed to get from her, and she always, it's one of the things she always used to say back then, because you got to understand, a single mother during that time, allowing your kid to continue to go outside and all that, and it's constant shooting, literally like round the corner, so her only thing that she used to say every single day, I stayed with her, be careful, stay prayed up. So, back then, you don't think nothing of it, but man, that was some powerful stuff because, now I have kids. I understand that, like, wow, I can't even fathom what she thought when I leave, she hears shooting, is Curtis coming back home? I hear sirens, I hear this, I hear that. My son ain't made it back home yet, so, but back then you don't really think nothing of it, but that was a, serious time now.
All right, good deal. Well, look, so I'm glad the world didn't X you out. Okay, so we wouldn't be talking here today. So I'm gonna move on here a little bit. So you talk about you must put in quality time and raise a sharp focus to achieve some accomplishments, and included in this is business, career, job search, graduation, or whatever. But the vast majority of this book is really about being in business. Okay, and so when you talk about putting in quality time and raise a sharp focus, you see a lot of people who have businesses or start businesses and don't do that. Okay, and so Is this something you're able to recognize right off the top? I mean, you know it when you see it. Yeah, instinctively.
Yeah. I mean, again, we again the culture. So we live in the microwave culture. So we think we don't have to put as much work into it because we think we can just stick our vision or dream in the microwave and say 2 to 3 minutes, you're good. No, you can't. You won't stick your Thanksgiving dinner in the microwave like that. You're not going to prepare your Thanksgiving, and you enjoy your Thanksgiving meal. So the same thing with your vision or your goals, whether it's business or you're trying to go get a particular degree or a job, a career. You still got to put in the work, and it's real simple. If you don't put in the right amount of work, you're just not going to yield what you're looking for. It don't nothing work like that. Nature or nothing, nothing.
Yeah. So without that razor sharp focus, now, and I was thinking, hey, look, people read this book, they're gonna read a lot of stuff they don't want to really hear. Okay, me included. Okay, but if you're not willing to accept what you know is true as truth, this book's not gonna do you any good. Okay, so. Yeah. I was mad at you for, some of this stuff, for calling me out.
Oh. Yeah, when you're writing or doing a segment like that, you mainly also talking to yourself.
You're mainly talking to yourself.
I mean, 1,000%, you're talking to yourself as well.
Yeah,
we all at some point, we all fall in there, and here's the thing too, Sharita. Even though you have reached that aha moment, doesn't mean that you won't go back there. You see what I'm saying? It's just that now that you're aware of it, you kind of, when you find yourself going back there, you kind of check yourself, But you got to acknowledge it first. Now, if you don't acknowledge it, you can be so far down the rabbit hole and don't realize it until it really hurts. And when you get it, you're so far down, it's harder to come out of it. But we all fall in that. We all fall in.
But what if you get it and don't do anything about it?
Well, if you don't, and here's the thing, and if you don't do nothing about it, depending on what you want, you'll be okay with stuck in the mud. You won't even realize you're in the mud. But until you become knowledgeable about, there's something called clean, or I don't like being stuck in this mud. Now I want to get out the mud. Now you need to find out what got you in the mud. And that's where these different basic skills come into play. What is, being razor sharp, focus, all this stuff, right? All this stuff come into play now if you want to get out of it. Or you can just kind of generalize it and say, man, I really wish I was clean. Well, that don't mean that. What are you going to do? You're going to take some action. And these are some steps. You understand? First of all, I hit you with awareness, know who you are, and then basic fundamental skills on how to get you out of there, whether it's business, personal, whatever. It gives a tone about business, but really this personal as well as business, because the same thing apply. The same thing, whether it's a goal or whatever.
Right. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later, because a lot of the things that you talk about in this book, throughout this entire book, no matter what chapter it is, even though you don't say it directly, a lot what comes to mind is consistency. Okay, yes. This razor sharp focus keeps getting interrupted because people stop doing what they're doing, and then come back to it. Stop doing it. Yeah, so what? Yeah, this is me. Okay, and so it's like no secret. Okay, it's no secret. So let's just put it all out there. Okay, you might even want to say it. I will say it for you. Okay.
Oh man.
But I've written some books too, and so they. And even a lot of stuff that I put out there on Facebook, and the things that I write, people usually will write about stuff that either they've been through or that they need help with themselves. Okay, what we share with others comes out of our own need. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. At least you get the truth that's genuine like that as well.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. So it says, speaking things into your life that are of no value. It's no wonder your life is in despair. It's only respecting your wishes and commands. Life is most obedient, the most obedient thing that I know. It will do just what you say. And I was thinking, it's far more obedient than we are to the God we say we serve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Life is more obedient to us than we are to the God that we say we serve.
Yes. Yes.
Talk
Yes.
about talk about that obedience.
Yeah. The God we serve. Okay. It's a text that say, life and death is in the tongue, and also we are created in God's image. So when you speak a lot of stuff in your life, even before we like say God being obedient to the God we serve, but our words gonna sit up here and actually be obedient to us because it's acting on something that God already put in us. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like they came out with this thing, The Secret, a couple of years back and all that. And I was just shook about that because I said, when it all came out, the law of attraction and The Secret and all that, I'm like, this stuff is biblical. All this is in the Bible. The life and death is in the tongue. That's the law of attraction per se. You see what I'm saying? So if you around here talking about blue Mondays, I'm having a blue Monday. Well, hello, you are the author of that. You just created that. So if you got that kind of power, if God gave you that God-given talent right there, switch it, flip it, and say, okay, I want to be such and such. I want to start my business. I want to go get this degree. I want to go to that particular school. I want to do that. Okay, now that you said it, now just go do. And watch it actually be obedient. It's really that simple. And I mean, really, I'm not talking in theory. Every obstacle I overcame, I simply just went and did. You know what I'm saying? And it was done, so and that came from a thought process, speaking it by putting it right, making a plan and executing. All that is strictly Genesis, the whole creation story. That's the creation story. So I created my environment. You see what I'm saying? Because that image, you're creating the God's image and in his likeness. So you can create your environment. You understand? But we bombarded with all these different images out here, the culture and all that. So we just don't apply what we already have. So we just kind of go off of what we feel it in. And when we spurt out all these different crazy words, it's still being obedient because you still got that power in you. You literally got that power, but you got it working against you. You understand? And so we blame everybody else and not even consider our own self, and really just need to simply be transformed. We get motivated, we get inspired, but it's so short-lived because it takes a transformation, and that's what's not going on.
You're right. You're right. And I'm gonna tell you just how relevant this is. I was having this conversation today in church about life being obedient. One of my church members was talking to me about, why don't I, teach a class? Well, see, hear me talking this right now, okay? So don't beat me up. And I said, I'm not ready for that, And so that's a whole other conversation. But we got into a conversation about depression. Okay, and so it's not the first time I've let it be known that I suffered from depression, some 16 years ago, really more, maybe even like 18 or 20, and I didn't even know it for a time. But so she was asking me about it, and I was saying, she said, well, what got you through it? And I said, a number of things did. But when I finally realized, I went home to my mother's house, and me and my daughter stayed there a couple of years, and I was sitting on my front porch. And in my head, I was telling myself, you're never going to do this. You're never going to be that. You're never going to have this. And so I just smack dead in my tracks. I was like, who told you that? And I'm like, for years, I had just been feeding myself this negative talk about I was never going to be this. I wasn't going to have that. Happiness wasn't in the cards for me. And I had spoke that over my life. So I say that for me, my depression stemmed from all the bad things that I told myself about me. And so that rings so true In this book. That you can't get a better example than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So speak life, people. Speak life.
Okay? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We are more than conquerors. A conqueror doesn't accept failure. And then, so you go into this thing about ideas, dreams, visions. You talk about the differences between them. So let's talk about those two things of, being a conqueror. Because we get, a lot of people say, they will rattle off, we're more than conquerors, and there's so much stuff that's number one, biblically based, but then people use it as cliche. And so nobody pays you no mind. Okay? Nobody pays you attention. So let's talk about that, and then let's talk about ideas, dreams, and visions, and the difference between them, and what kind of action they call for.
Yeah, well, I love the scripture more than the conqueror, and I like it more so in this part of my life than me just hearing it as a cliche coming up in church. It's so. If I'm in one of the schools, I always open up some of my questions with the guys about, with the students about, do you know that you're more than a conqueror? Or have you ever heard in the Bible, it actually states that you're more than a conqueror? So everybody say, yeah, yada, yada, because of the cliche they hear so often. So I flip it like this, and I say, so could anybody tell me what is a conqueror? So now we finna get engaged in it. They'll tell me what a conqueror is, someone that overthrows a city or government, come in and conquer, take over and all that. I said, okay, that's good. Can you tell me anything in the dictionary that's more than that? Can't nobody find nothing in the dictionary. So they'll cheat and say, Jesus or God. That's it, God. I said, you're cheating. I said, a conqueror. I said, a conqueror. I said, now since we in English class, that's a person, place, a thing. So what you're talking about is a person. A conqueror is something else. You see what I'm saying? It's describing that person, describing a situation. I said, is there anything in a dictionary that's greater than a conqueror? Nobody can find it. Nobody can find it. So I said, okay, God said that you more than that. So basically, you out of this world. You can't even be defined by, can't nobody put a term on you, a gangster thug, X or whatever. Nobody can put this on you. You're more than what all the words in this dictionary. You see what I'm saying? So that's that, and that just really, if you're able to kind of even embrace that, it'll blow your mind, because you like, so whatever I want to do, I can basically do it, because not only am I'm going to conquer it, it's something I'm going to be able to do. I can't even describe it. You see what I'm saying? And that's the beautiful thing about it, So I mean, that more than conquer thing is I think it get a lot of downplay because we hear it so much. We tied to something mediocre, or it just but it's one of the most But a lot of times the reason why it's downplayed because you don't really put yourself in a position to conquer anything. Mm-hmm. So we kind of react to something and say, well, we're going to conquer the problem that I'm going through. Now, you can be proactive, and whatever that vision, leading to the vision of your goal, you can achieve that with flying colors. You see what I'm saying? Even with the opposition, even going through the opposition, having 50 doors shut in your face, those are still achievements, because you still got 50 doors shut in your face, which means you know how to go around it. You're going to learn how to go through it, find out why they shut the door, or find the other 50 doors. Since I don't even need to go. Maybe I didn't need to go that route. See, that's achievement. Yeah. You can put that down in your research and development and keep it moving. So there's no failure. Those you're able to, by knowing who you are, understand that you are more than that conqueror. But it got to be in line with God's plan now. You see what I'm saying? And it's nothing, it don't got to be something, we say, well, I'm looking for God to tell me this. No, listen, it's real simple. Real simple. If you don't make it about you, that's God. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When you go see, Jesus said, when they asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? He said, love God, love your heart, mind, and soul. And the second one, it's like the first one, love your neighbors like you love yourself. That's it. That wraps it up. So if you make your plan, your vision and all that stuff about others, or not about just yourself, that's God. You know what I'm saying? So don't be looking for this big major. I got to go get this. All that stuff is once you go that route. You see what I'm saying? Those, if you want this big thing you're trying to go get, that's a byproduct of you just going and bring somebody other than yourself with you. You see what I'm saying? That's it's basic stuff. It's just stuff that we pay for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, that's heavy and that is powerful. We're more than conquerors because we're more than conquerors in Him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, golly, you can't get any better than that. Okay. And so, and I'm hearing you now, we're more than conquerors in Him. And so number one, we stay focused on Him, all the other stuff, we're going to stay mindful of that. But that thought that we're more than conquerors for most part, it's a fleeting thought. It's for a lot of people, it's a feel good moment.
Yeah.
It lasts while it lasts.
Yeah.
And then we start talking that crazy talk.
Yeah, exactly. No transformation. Yeah, right. You just got motivated. You're more than conquerors in Him. And then, a couple of minutes later or a day later, you're back to, because you never cleaned up. You see what I'm saying? You never went through and was transformed. You know what I'm saying? You still conditioned. So until you get that transformation, yeah, and unfortunately, but fortunately, it hurts. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you got to recode your whole thought process. Some of the things I see you put out there about the reset, if reset had a feeling, it'll hurt. Because that's like reset, so that means I got to reboot something. So the reboot, rehurt, if that actually had feelings, that would be something that hurts. Because I got to take something out. I got to go back to zero and then refresh myself.
But if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. And now, when you reset, refresh the function of the computer or the TV or whatever that device is, it's moving. The efficiency is on point. It's the same thing works with you, and that's biblical. You got to, once you renew your mind, that's a reset. That's a reboot. You understand? So that's it.
A fresh start. Yeah, everybody need that every now and again, no matter what the situation is. So let's talk about these ideas, dreams, and visions, okay? Because you said something here kind of funny about an idea. Idea is not, it's just an idea. It ain't gonna do nothing with somebody put some action to it. It's just on your head. An idea is not a business. It's still just in your head, right?
Right.
So let's talk about the difference between three: an idea, a dream, and a vision. Okay, and how to take each of them to the next level.
An idea is good because that's a start, but you got to execute. We get kind of stuck into the idea. We allow the idea become a daydream, and that's a problem, because we kind of just in a stalemate, And as far as the dream go, if you notice about dreams, we never see how we get to that moment, or you don't remember in that dream. Like even if okay, let's just take something as simple as the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech. He said, "I have a dream to see this and that together," but in that, there's a process that got to happen in order for that to happen, and we just get stuck on the result of a dream. So think about a vision. A vision, in order for that vision to go into play, you got to put processes, things into place to make that happen. We can say my vision of my company or my personal vision is to go get such and such job, or go if I get hired at this company. But we call it a vision. It's just an idea. But I feel like the vision, once you put it down on paper, you put a strategic plan together to get to that vision, which is basically just execution. That's the difference. Execution. The vision, you have to, if you go to any corporate, whatever the company's vision is, there's a value chain to get to that vision. You can't even just say that's just our vision. We plan to outsell in the whole country or whatever without how you gonna get there, without a strategy of getting there. But the dream, it just kind of it just sleep. You know, it's sleek, it's misleading, and you don't see in your actual dreams how you even how you got to that feel good moment. You know, you just only see, I got a car. I had a dream that I got a new car. But did it show you where you went, how you got the money, what money you saved? Did you do some investments or whatever? The dream, it don't tell you none of that. It always just tell you, oh, I just got a new house. I dreamed that I got a new house. How did you get the new house? What was the down payment? Did you have a closing cost? Who was the agent? None of that. No process involved. Vision, yes.
Yeah. You got to put it in place. And that's funny that you say that, because number one, the dream, you got to wake up. You know, hopefully, you know, you wake up on the dream. But you wake up, and then they feel so good about that dream, as if it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like your example, the house and the car. You know, I'm in their head. Yeah, they're gonna have this. The house and the car, because they saw it in a dream, and they wait. Yeah, and they wait. And what they didn't see in the dream was how they got there. What was your credit score? How long you was on the job? Did you have your financials in order? Did you have your down payment in the look? Listen, you know that dream that about the house did not have. It didn't show you at the closing table. It didn't show none of you paid the out of pocket to spend none of that. It just said, I dreamed that I had a nice pretty house. Yeah. I dreamed that I had a car. You know, but it don't show you these steps. However, again, with that vision, a true vision, but in order for that to work, everybody that puts I use the corporate word in business because these are the ones that know better. You have to put a plan, a strategic plan together to make this here happen. Yeah. I just can't say, I want to, you can't even, in your business plan, you can't go to the bank and say, well, we are they want to know how, their vision is how you going to pay their money back. Right, that's how they see it, right?
Again, so again, you got to put those processes, systems in place. Yeah. You know, and for the vision to be on point. Other than that, it's just simply a dream, a daydream at that.
Right, you know? right. Yeah. So with the people that receive these dreams and say these things going to happen, that's like going to the bank and then they say, you mean I got to get a job?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something that you actually have to do. Dream don't never show that part. Yeah, at least, let me just say, I don't know what being in other people's head. In my head, it never show. It always jump over all of that. Whatever the dream is just showing the end result. It'll never show me how I got that.
Right. Exactly. That, you know? Exactly. So, you know, like I told you, our conversation can take a turn anywhere along this session. So what we're talking about visions. And so what comes to mind is people sharing their visions with other people. Yeah. You have thoughts on that? Because a couple of things can happen, you know, including somebody shooting you down and, you know, making you, you know, because people about with regard to a vision, okay, that is usually something very exciting, oftentimes very passionate about it, and then you share, you know, sometimes people will break you down. You know, what do you say about that?
Well, you got to know who to share that with, because it's some snatchers out, it's some body snatchers out there. You know, I mean, and a lot of times, just even like when I'm talking to the students or my own kids, the thing is, a lot of times people gonna only tell you about your stuff, what you can't do, because they can't do it. They perspective, it's like trying to explain something to a 17-year-old saying, this is how you should go out here and take care of your household. They don't understand that until you tell them, but you can't expect for them to know that if they haven't experienced that. So the same thing with your vision. Your vision, your idea is not really for them, it's for you. So you kind of got to understand yourself who to go tell that to. Now, you go tell that to somebody that you know that's not doing nothing, just be mindful that 9 times out of 10 it's going to get shot down, because they're only going to tell you where they're at in their life, but implied to you. And so you got to be mindful, like, well, I probably don't need to. And you know if that person not even close to doing what you're talking about doing. So that's why it's important to go get you a mentor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See somebody that has already done that. Even if you don't have access to the mentor, you can have them as a mentor indirectly by just watching their moves, you know. And but as far as going to tell somebody else that haven't even did anything for themselves, it's a 50-50 that they're gonna shoot it down.
Right.
You know, even if they don't shoot it down, they instantly gonna think about where they at. You're just gonna remind them where they are, and then they may not say that's a bad idea, but they body language is gonna give you all of that right there, because they're not gonna feel as enthused as you. Because it's
right.
not.
How could they?
Because it's not for
their
them.
vision.
It's for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you just kind of got to just, you know, choose your battles. Know where to drop your jewels. You know, you can't, your pearls.
Right.
If you know what I mean. You just can't tell everybody.
Yeah. You know, we do this children's business fair, and somebody was tossing, we was talking to somebody, and they were tossing around some ideas for kids. We're not really tossing around some ideas for kids, but she was telling me that her son wanted to do, robots for the children's business fair. And she said, no, this is about lemonades. And I'm like, where did you get that from? If you want to do robots, because the whole fair is about the children's idea.
Yeah.
Coming up with themselves. It's not just about lemonade. Why did you do that? Yeah,
because it's about lemonade to her. You see what I'm saying? Can't think no further, you know. And that's not to throw shots at whoever thinking less of. It's just that real simple stuff, like we may not be privy to certain dreams, ideals, or whatever we, really that dream, like, I talk a lot, even I use myself. I didn't hear the word entrepreneur ever in my childhood. Didn't even know the word even exists. I always seen a boss or a business, but never the word entrepreneur, or even the word like architect, so you go a whole, so of course, if somebody say, well, what you want to be? The most not crazy, but the most easiest thing to say would be that will make everybody feel good, a doctor or a lawyer, because that's all you see.
Doctor, lawyer, teacher, fireman.
Yeah, so if you say doctor, lawyer, very seldom you get teachers in the but you hear doctor. Yeah. You hear doctor, lawyer, and then you drop down to football player, basketball, rapper. Like it's like so much in the middle. It's wet, but because you're not privy to that information, that terminology, you're just simply not gonna say that about. So lemonade stand it is. You see what I'm saying? That just wish, some of us, we just be,
Yeah. But for a kid, that just kind of takes away that exploration. I remember one of my first apartments, I had one of my aunts over with me, I'm an adult and she was only about 12 at the time. My aunts are younger than I am. And she wanted to take my daughter, the store was right on the corner. She's like, Rita, can we walk down to the store? I was like, no, I don't know anything about this neighborhood. And she said, well, how are we going to learn anything? We're going to explore, I'm like, this little brat, what you mean? Okay, y'all come straight on back, okay? So she got a chance to do that. But, yeah, you got to let kids explore. And then adults, too, have to explore, too, because how you going to know what you want to do if you don't explore?
Absolutely.
So let's see here. Trust issues in self and others. Does not trusting others cause us to not trust ourselves? Because you talk about that you built up this mistrust in people, and then eventually you started doubting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it goes back to basically we just touched on, knowing you got to know who to bring in your circle. You got to know who to bring in your circle, because if they come in and do something, I mean, you it's really 99% of the time, anything that happened to us is because of us, whether it's trust or anything else. Now, like I say, certain things, that 1%, which a lot will fall in that 1%, dealing with health and certain things you just don't have no control over, I mean, but as far as 99% of the time, it's on us. So if you bring somebody in your circle and you say, well, they did something to me, I trusted them and they went against me. Well, you didn't tap into your better judgment. You didn't tap into your own discernment. You know, that thing that, again, God give us all. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now, have all of us fell in a situation like that? Absolutely. Have Curtis fell? Absolutely, yeah. But that doesn't take me off the hook either. You know, that was on me, not them. You know, even in business, I always say, you hear people say we don't work together or something like that. It ain't that we don't work good together. It's just that we allow certain things to navigate the. In other words, if we want to get into a business deal with somebody, we allow the opportunity to lead that partnership and not our core values. So when we get into that, you get into a partnership with somebody that end up breaking the trust. Right. Well, guess what? At the beginning, if you would have really looked at that properly, you would have seen that the trustworthy would have been a factor anyway. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's really back on us, you know.
Yeah, and you know, not even sometimes not recognizing it, but recognizing and going against your better judgment anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a setup right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
You might as well say, okay, I'm let's just go and fold it right now, okay? Because I know better, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. The opportunity it proceeds at the time. That instant gratification proceeds the real deal. We're not looking at it. We ain't looking at the equity of it. Yeah. You know, we ran by the instant, the money on the table, and not understanding the equity, the long-term equity, which in this case, our spirit. You see what I'm saying? We looking at, oh man, this is gonna make me happy right now, but what about your well-being? See, your well-being is a long-term situation, you know, so there it is, you know.
There it is. On the table. Instincts. I always say, you know, instincts are a gift of God. That's just God telling you don't do it. Okay? Or go ahead and do it. Okay, one or the other. Do it or don't do it. Not well, I'm gonna do it anyway because you know God forgives, right?
Right.
All I can do is go and ask him for forgiveness. I'm gonna do this today, but you know there's a problem when I ask God to forgive me. Do it.
He gonna forgive you. You just still gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's
See what I'm saying? You forgive it. It's like your children. Yeah. I forgive you. I still love you, but you brought home that bad grade. You still just don't get what you want.
Yeah,
but I still got to feed you. I still got to clothe you. I still got to keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summertime. But you still can't go on this vacation or you can't get that thing that you want. That's it. You know, but I still love you.
That's right.
That's how God does. I still love you, Rita. I still love you, Curtis, but you're not going to, that's what you just did.
That's right. Yeah. And because you know you can, because you know you can do better.
Yeah. That's it.
And you know, you're talking about people knowing, you know, a person knowing they can do better. But a lot of times, you know, with kids or adults, sometimes other people see in you knowing you could do better more than people themselves know. You know, like I think, you know, like a lot of times in other people, I mean, I can see, you know, I think I can see, you know, gifts or talents that they don't even see themselves. You know what I'm saying?
So elaborate on that. So you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, a lot of times, like with the kids getting the D's or the F's or whatever they get in school, you know, we know that they can do better. Okay. And sometimes they don't know that they can do better. You know, sometimes they don't know that they can do better. They don't feel like they can do better. But we can see in other people what sometimes they don't see in themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And again, it's practical stuff though. You know, if I never tell that kid or that student you can do better and then leave them hanging right there. If we talking about a grade, I would simply ask you this here. If you tell me you brought home an F, and I simply ask you, I don't care nothing about that, but I just want to know how much time you put into that particular subject. No. Real simple. So if you got 24 hours in a day and 8 of those hours you at home, or 6 hours if you into some extra curriculum, out of those 6 to 8 hours at home, how much are you putting into your studies at home? You understand? Most was you go ahead and tell me, Mr. Richardson, about 30 minutes. I said, so let's put this in perspective. 30 minutes or an hour, 5 days a week, you're supposed to have a D. You didn't even put the amount of work into, you see what I'm saying? You
right.
6 hours or 8 hours. You see, you did. So I said, okay, so let me give y'all up. Let me give you a strategy. 2 hours a day. You can break it up 30, 1 hour, 30, 30, or 1, or 2 hours, however you want to do it. And then on the weekends, 4 hours. After the whole weekend, that's 2 hours Saturday, 2 hours Sunday. I guarantee you, positively, you will have a 8 because you really put in the work, the time. If you didn't put that in, you're going to have a D or F because you just don't simply know.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really that basic, you know, so it's practical stuff, you know. I'm not just going to say go be the best you. I'm going to give you a basic formula, practical, everyday. So, and I use that because even when my daughter had brought home a D in chemistry, she said, well, chemistry is not my subject. I said, no, it ain't that chemistry your subject. It's just something about it that you don't allow. You didn't allow yourself to put the time in. And when we changed that little strategy right there, 2 hours a day, she brought it up to literally an 8.
Right.
And keep in mind, it's not her subject. You see what I'm saying? Once you go ahead and put in the work, real simple. You know, routine is everything. We're creatures of habits. So you constantly just reading something, going through it, reading it, you're going to reap the benefit from it. That just low. It's like gravity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And whatever you do or don't do, in the end, it's going to be evident, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's it. So you got these masterpiece principles: honesty, committed to telling the truth, congruence, no gaps between intent and actions, humility, relinquishing some of your perceived power to get further, and courage, do the right thing even when it's hard. Okay, all those things are necessary together. I mean, those are the principles. Is it is one or two good without the other two? You know, you got to have them all.
Yeah. And I think it is not only you got to have them all. I think when you doing one or two of them, it's going to lead to the next one in a way. You see what I'm saying? Because it's something that's in you, and you only going to just be complimenting those different principles in you. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you say integrity or your work ethic or whatever those attributes are, I really and truly, you can take one of them, you know, and it's just going to complement a whole multitude. It's all about what you want, what you're trying to go at. Because once you define who you are and you put the goal together, and you operate in these set of principles, whether it's one or two of them, I really truly think it's going to lead to the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like a checklist. It's all natural. You know what I'm saying? It's all really natural, but it's good to know of them and then let them naturally happen, you know. But a lot of times, if you don't know, if you in the environment that's a little sketchy, you know, and always kind of underhand in a situation where you're going to take those set of principles into this other thing. And if you don't understand these set of principles in the book or basic stuff, you're just going to operate in something. And then until you say, why I keep on hitting this brick wall? Why I keep on, well, look at what you're operating in. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so when you turn the page, then you'll see a different state.
Right. You know, these you say even if you have one of them, the others will fall in line. And I'm thinking, and I don't know whether you wrote these in order or not, but honesty, committed to the truth. So like me, if you have, especially if you have that one, all the others go fall in line.
Yeah.
You ain't fooling nobody, girl. You ain't fooling nobody. What you say? You fooling nobody. You know.
Yeah.
You can't get away with a lie. You can't get away with shortchanging yourself. You can't get away with taking shortcuts if you're honest and truthful with yourself about what you're doing and what you want to do. So I'm gonna skip over here on page 24, divine purpose. What are you doing? Is it clear what you want to do? Why do you do what you do? Mm-hmm.
That divine purpose, that's pretty major. A lot of times we do stuff for money.
Okay.
It just be real simple. We why you want to be in that career? For money. Because the check is bigger. Or why you want to start a business? For money. I want to make a lot of money. To each his own, if that's your thing. But if you want it to be sustainable, it needs to be divine. And I think around that part I did share my story. I probably shared it earlier, but all the way up until maybe 8 years in, my purpose always been to make a lot of money or be the biggest company. It's always been something.
That's exactly where it is.
Kind of, and I'm gonna say for me that was shallow. Very shallow. So, but that was I want to be the biggest, the largest, or whatever. But when I changed it to I want to create opportunity for others, that made it divine. And literally, during that time, I went from a 2-man crew to 60 men at one time because I simply said I want to create opportunity for others. So that was an overflow in itself. I mean, because I turned the page, so I made it divine. So divine. You can say I want to leave a legacy for my kids. I want to do this, that's applicable. That's applaudable, But also just know that just put a some kind of social aspect to the business. Capital is what it is. Capitalism is what it is. Of course, you got to make money and all that. But even A.G. Gasson had a social aspect to his business. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, divine is pretty major. It's sustainable. And truth be told, you really can't do business without it, even though the eyes sometimes lie to us when we look at media and we say clearly that person he's not a man of faith, or this a crook, or da da da. But we still looking at the wrong thing, measuring their success. But you don't know what's going on behind the curtain. So you cannot, and I stand firm on this, and you cannot operate in business or achieve any goal and be sustainable without that divine purpose with it.
Without the divine purpose. And this is also right here in this particular area of the book, you talk about money being the tool and not the goal.
Exactly. That's it. It's just a tool. That's it. It's not a goal. It's, I ask my students all the time, I say, so what you want to do? Make a lot of money. I said, make a lot of, you can't, what you want to work at a reserve bank or something? Making money? So that's it. See, again, we chase after something that's just simply a tool. It's just simply a hammer and a nail. That's it. A hammer to get the nail. See, it's not about the hammer or the nail. It's about the picture you're trying to get on the wall.
That's right.
Really simple. It's just a tool. You want to go at all the hammers. Once you get all the hammers in the world, now what? But you want the picture on the wall because it look pretty in the house or in your business. You see what I'm saying? The hammer don't look pretty. The nail don't look pretty.
That's right.
But the picture looks pretty. But you need the tools to get the picture in place. And that's money.
Yeah, that's money. That's money. That reminds me of being the tool and not the goal. And you talked about you were somehow involved in real estate also. Buying properties and stuff. And that's how I got into real estate, being a real estate investor. And so I'm a Keller Williams agent, and I have the book. Millionaire real estate investor. And one of the things that in there, and I didn't think about this when I was, flipping properties or buying rental property, saying flipping a house is not the goal. Just flipping houses is not the goal.
Yeah.
What's your real goal? Which, for some people, and people have different goals, that's wealth building. But all they think about is flipping houses and making money. You know, what are you gonna do with the money when you get it? You know, is all you want to do make money?
Exactly.
Yeah. So there has to be an end goal, and that's so true.
Wow.
What do you see beyond the money?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see beyond the money? My cousin, when we were younger, she used to always say, you know, she was always going through something, and she'd say, I said, you know, what's the matter? Is it money? She said, oh shit, if money was a problem, I wouldn't have no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was, you know, I mean, that was like we were in our 20s, and I didn't know probably until I was in my 30s what that meant. You know, because I experienced that. You know, and I used to say during the time when I was making a living without a job. Okay, well, in those years, I found out real quick.
Yeah.
You know how I could survive. I didn't want a job. I needed money. I had to have it. You know, I could always go get a job. You know, if none of my friends could get a job, I could do a job because I took typing from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
Yeah.
All they was doing filling out applications, and I was working.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's not about the money, because to be honest with you, it probably is one of the most easiest things in the world to get.
It really is. It really is. You know. Yeah. It's just what you're gonna do with it, and really, and at the end of the day, it's really about happiness. But we tie the two to happiness. It's not the two. It's the financial freedom, or it's just it's financial independence. You know, it's just that money, using it as a tool to get that freedom or that independence is the thing to go, the end game, or that legacy or whatever, or you know. But the money is just simply a tool. That's it.
Money is simply a tool. Well, look, we're getting close to time to wrap this up, and you know, I'm going to you know, when I get the video ready, and it might already be ready, you know, I'll send it to you. You can post whatever, and I hope people watch it. And you know, I don't usually go page by page, chapter by chapter. We just float around a lot, but for the people who might be listening to this, we only got to page 24, so you only got like about 100 or so pages to read. Because if I were, you know, watching this video, I mean, seriously, because if I were watching this video, I'd want to come get this book. I want to get this book to finish talking, because this is real talk here. This real talk. This is not some you know, some late night mogul or something like that. You know, Curtis, he's a man of his word. He's a man of action. He's a leader in the community, and we've only known each other since what, maybe 2000.
I want to say
2012, maybe.
Yeah, I'm about to say 11, but yeah, 11, 12. That's about right.
Something like that. And even before I actually had a chance to meet you, you know, I would hear Joe talk about you a lot. And just to be perfectly honest with you, you know, it is all true. I've seen nothing but a man of integrity. I've seen nothing but a man who worked hard, who walks the walk, you know, who walks the talk. And so I encourage people to get this book. You already have it, Developing Your Inner Brilliance by Curtis K. Richardson. Make no mistake here, Curtis K. Richardson, okay? No Curtis M, no Curtis R, Curtis K. Okay, that's the book. That's the book. So, in wrapping up, what do you want people to know about this book, and why should they buy it?
Well, real simple. I've written the book for those who feel like they're stuck in the rut, and sometimes even those who you feel like you make it out of it, and you always keep on going back to that. So it's just basic practical stuff in them that's really that I personally use and got me past my ruts. You know what I'm saying? Because we all go through those down periods. It's like the Dow Jones. We up and we down. We up and we down. But we do need certain skills and techniques, being able to do certain things in a certain way that would get you to that other level or phase you're trying to get to, you know. So it's just really for those people just looking to get to that other point in their life, you know. And these are just basic fundamental skills that I share, that I use.
Very, very, very practical. And that reminds me, you know, when I first how I got into real estate, and I'm older than you. And you might not even know who I'm talking about when I say Carlton Sheets. You know, the
Well,
late night real estate. Yeah,
yes, I do.
I spent
Yeah,
all that money
those
on
for
crowd
me.
sheets. I couldn't use a thing in it.
That was the no money down.
Yeah, no way, I couldn't use any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started working with Keller Williams. I spent $14 on a book that's called The Millionaire Real Estate Investment. Have practical advice just like this book. Down to earth, something that real people can recognize and use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lying when I say that. I'm not lying
Yeah,
when I say that.
yeah. Thank you.
Anyway, tell people where they can get the book.
They can go to my website. That's www. You see I'm laughing. CurtisKRichardson.com. Go to my website. That's the best place to go get it. It is on Amazon, but I prefer you going to the website, of course.
That's right. And I'll say it time and time again. I'm as an author myself. We are indie authors. We haven't made it to the New York Times bestseller list, like some of the most well-known authors in the world. And so by buying directly from us, you help to support us. And so definitely go to that website. And what's that website again?
www.CurtisKRichardson.com.
You will remember his name.
Yeah.
All right, Curtis. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. When you share the video, wherever you're going to share it, I always wait for people to share it first, and then I share it.
Gotcha.
About making sure it's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Before I post it out there. And it's been a pleasure talking with you.
All right, same here. Thank you.
All right, have a great Sunday.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
All right.